All right, welcome back. Thank you guys for joining me once again. We're going to go over today the problem versus solution mindset. This is one of our next steps on how to attract clients and how to get clients within the NDIS sector. So I've laid out a little bit of a roadmap for us to and a bit of a process. And if you feel like you've maybe skipped some steps, you can head back and look at some of the other videos in the process. So as we move along, you can see here we have a little bit of a marketing roadmap, which we've spoken about in previous videos, where it's a whole ecosystem where if you want to start marketing, we really have to look at a whole bunch of stuff. It's not just a matter of throwing up some information on Facebook and hoping that you're going to get clients and posting a whole heap of information. There is a process that actually goes into looking at your marketing system, looking at the things that are inside of that ecosystem. So that's what we're doing. We're going over a provider marketing roadmap, and we're doing that all completely for free. So hopefully you're able to get a heap of value out of this roadmap, and I want you to follow along. If you haven't watched any of the other videos, definitely go back to the start and start watching them from the beginning, and we'll get through a process which is probably going to be about 20 videos or so. It's going to take me time, but we will get there. So here we are looking at our person-centered approach still. So we're still in our person-centered approach step, and we want to focus on our problems versus solutions mindset. So it's a mindset shift that we really have to all embody and all bring on so that we can have a strong ecosystem, not just into our business, but with the clients we're supporting and these sorts of things. So when we look at our problem versus solution mindset, some people in the marketing industry will often call it looking at their pain points. But I think that we need to have a little bit of a mindset shift from that as well to what are the problems that they face. And when we look at the goals, so, in the NDIS, our mission is to help people reach their goals within the disability sector and help the people we support to reach their goals. So, but even prior to that, what are the problems that they're facing? What are those micro problems, the things that keep them awake every night, that keep them from getting to their goals? So understanding what are the problems that they face on a daily basis every single day. And it's going to be different to, someone with cerebral palsy, someone with dementia, someone with all these types of disabilities, autism, intellectual disabilities, these sorts of things. They all have a different set of problems. While some of them may overlap, some of them may be social anxiety, all these sorts of things that may overlap because they're fearful of getting out because they have a disability and the way that people look at them. Maybe there's some that do overlap, but there's definitely going to be some problems there. And you will know, going back to our person-centered side of things from our previous videos, looking at who your ideal participant is. That's why if we really understand and really have a ninja mindset on who we want to support in the disability sector, we're going to have a much easier time to figure out what the problems are they're facing, because you'll have seen it. You've seen it on a daily basis. And that's where when we go and we start choosing who our ideal participant is to maybe choose someone that you really, really understand. Okay. If maybe you see there's a market there to help people with, let's say, cerebral palsy, but you're not trained in cerebral palsy and you don't know the problems they face on a daily basis, but you see, oh, there's a real gap in the market, I can do that. It might not be the best idea for you right now to shift to that until you start to learn that new skill set of supporting and helping people with that issue. Maybe you can bring on some staff members at some point that are great at doing that. But yeah, by diversifying and really starting to look at all services for all people, it makes it really, really hard on yourself, from a marketing perspective, from a logistics perspective, from actually just providing the supports that, our whole goal here is to help them reach their goals. And are you really going to be able to help that person with cerebral palsy reach their goals? So what are the problems that they face on a daily basis? And what are the solutions that are going to help them get there? And that's where we start to look at our marketing around those solutions. Okay, so what I want you to do as a bit of a workshop for yourself is to write down the challenges that they face. So choose a disability that you support or that you want to support, and write down, okay, I work with autism. What are 10 problems that this demographic, now they're not all going to obviously suffer from this. Some will be better at it. Some will be have maybe conquered that fear or gotten to that goal. But what are the problems that they face on a daily basis? Now you can write the goals, the end goal that you want to achieve with them, but until you understand the problems, there's no way that you can help people get to that point of completion, get to that goal, and provide that solution. And that's what we're marketing. That's our person-centered approach. That's our person-centered marketing, is understanding, really, really understanding the people that we support. So, write down the solutions, the correspondence that's going to keep them up at night. So, when we understand what our problem is, write down maybe some of the solutions. And you can do this in a spreadsheet form. You can literally just pull out an Excel spreadsheet, the problems that they face on a daily basis, write it right next to it, some of the solutions that they could achieve. Maybe there's 3 or 4 solutions to one problem. Okay, workshop service offerings that are irresistible, that solve the problem, and that help you stand out. So this is where we look at the marketing aspects and the marketing side of things, that now we can start to build out some out of the box solutions. Now we can start to look at, if we bring, for example, into, I've worked with a provider in Canberra, Ignition Gaming. They work with young men with autism between, I think like 18 and 35 or somewhere in that demographic. And they really, really understand the problems that these guys face on a daily basis. They're understanding, and because they've been doing it for years and years, they really understand what they're doing. So they were able to create a service that is focused around a Nintendo Switch, so a gaming console. So they all are able to go and do this gaming, because while, you think, oh man, we should be getting them out. We should be getting them into the community and running around and all that sort of stuff. Well, this is their community. This is who they are. They're people that love video gaming, that love this sort of stuff. And if they're not doing it at home, if they're doing it at home, their parents would probably love them to go to a group where they all have the same interests, and they're providing that solution. So the solution they're actually providing to that problem is creating, and the problem, it really is that social anxiety of wanting to meet new people. And that's what people with autism often struggle with, is being able to meet new people, feeling comfortable around new people. Now you put them in an environment where they're under no pressure to go and meet that person that's playing a video game next to them. But as support workers, we can gently push them in that direction and say, hey, how you been doing? And just lead by example, having conversations and these sorts of things. So they've created an ecosystem there where they understand their problem, they put a solution in front of them, and they can all come into one room. Now, when you understand this completely and wholly, you can then go to a support coordinator, you can go to an OT, you can go to a primary care, whoever the referral partners are that and the stakeholders in this are. You can then communicate them in a way that, hey, I understand the problems that these guys face. We understand how to get them a solution, and this is how we're going to do it. Not just, hey, I have capacity and I do community access. I'm going to take them out and we're going to kick a football in the park. Okay, so what does that football kicking include? How does that help them? We're going to take them to movies each week. Okay, how does that help them? What is the problem that is solving? Okay, maybe there is a problem there is that it is that you're solving, but you haven't actually looked a little bit deeper and kind of said, oh, what's this? What's this taking the movie solving? Okay, so they're getting out of the community, or we're actually doing it as a group, so they're meeting some new people. So is that one of their problems that they're facing, and how are we solving that sort of thing? So when you show an in-depth understanding, and I know this firsthand because I've asked a lot of support coordinators this question, like what makes you want to work with a new provider? And it's really that deep understanding of the industry and what we're trying to do here. And by understanding this, you actually are showing some really solid comprehension of what we're trying to do here. And then it all comes back to what I always harp on, is trust. So this will help build your trust by having a solid understanding of the people you're supporting, how to get them to their goals, how to market to those people. And until we understand that, we can't market to that. So I mean, why would I want to come to if I'm working with some young men and I wanted to hold a high tea, um, Why would I want to come to a high tea? That is something for some, we've held high teas before as a disability organization myself. We've held high teas, and that's usually from, 45 to 65 in that demographic, people who love to just sit around and have a chat and eat some good food and meet some great people. Why would I want to do that? I don't want to do that. I love video gaming. These are my likes and interests. And how can we involve that? And how can we incorporate that to be some out of the box thinking to actually solve a problem, to actually help them get there? Um, all right, moving on to our next point, clearly communicating benefits of your offer and creating your value proposition, kind of on the topic of what I was just talking about, understanding exactly what it is and putting that into your irresistible offer. And we're going to get into our irresistible offers a little bit later on in the program, and defining your irresistible offer to say, hey, look, we've got something so amazing with so much value that you would feel stupid to say no. Okay, so that's really our value proposition, is creating as much value as you can, and value doesn't just mean cheap. I want to stress that value doesn't mean cheap, because in the disability sector we're capped. We can't charge $100 for community access and then bring it down because we're getting amazing results and we can charge $100 because we know we're going to get results for this. We're capped at $67 an hour. So going lower than that actually is going to give yourself a handicap within your business, because we want to financially be able to, pay admin, pay for a HR one day, put some money aside to be able to bring on new staff, all these sorts of things. There is a huge range, which we'll look at another point in financial literacy within the disability sector. So value does not just mean money. It means how much value can you bring to a person's life? How much can you bring to their offer? What are you solving? What problems are you solving? And often it can be time as well. Often it can be feeling safe and trusted. Do I have a safe space to be able? Do I trust this guy? Can I do this can we amplify that we have staff members that are their job and they've been able to get such and such results for other type of people in your situation? So showing that value with the program when you're communicating with people, and actually having something to talk about. When you can communicate in this way about your irresistible offer, even if you are providing all things to all people, let's say you're going down that road, which I don't recommend you do. If you create a specific program that solves a problem and provides a solution, which we'll look at a little bit later on our irresistible offer, that gives you something to talk about at networking events, other than there's 20 people in this room that do the same thing as you and are communicating in the same way as you. And maybe there's one dude there that stands out because he knows what I'm communicating to you. And he knows that, hey, yeah, we've got this really cool program. It focuses on young men with autism and intellectual disabilities. And it solves this problem, and it gives them a solution and that sort of thing. So be able to communicate that, and at that end of the point, do you think you'd have anyone who'd be interested in that? Or do you know anyone who'd be interested in solving these types of problems? We're really looking to expand and grow the group, rather than saying, hey, can I have some clients? Okay, so we just need to adjust our mindset to our problem versus solution mindset. And I've already spoken a little bit. It's going to be through building trust and rapport and reciprocity. And when we look at reciprocity within the prospects and within our community, these events, these irresistible offers, and the problems you're solving don't always have to be paid. You can actually say, hey, you know what? Rather than spending $2,000 or $3,000 on Google ads, Facebook ads, whatever, I'm going to put together a problem versus solution event. So we're not going to do a sausage sizzle in the park. That doesn't solve a problem. Okay, we're not going to people. Okay, the problem is that they were hungry, and you solved them with a sausage. We could do. I've seen an organization. Well, it wasn't free. It was only $10. There's an organization called. It was Waltzing Matilda down there at Cardiff RSL. You might be able to find it on Google. I'm not sure, but man, there would have had to been 50 people with a disability there, all at a disco night, all having fun. There was a DJ up on stage. They were doing dance games, all that sort of stuff, and all their parents, all their participants, all the primary carers, they're all there sitting there having a fun, themselves having a drink, and communicating probably with people that are parents who face those similar situations as well, or support workers who they can get to talk with, and all the people they were supporting were on the stage building relationships, dancing with each other. It was quite really really cool. There was some people doing some romantic dancing. It was providing a whole heap of solutions for a whole heap of problems. When we look at maybe even the parent sides of things, or the primary carers, so that you're actually solving them by giving them a network, and a group of a place for them to let their hair down a little bit and maybe have a drink. Obviously, support workers aren't allowed to drink, but if it's a mum and dad and that sort of stuff, and meet some new people that are in the same boat, and have someone to talk about and talk to the problems that they're facing. But then you also have the problems that are being solved on the dance floor, where we're getting active. We're actually building some serotonin in our brain. We're meeting some people. We're looking at that community engagement and really getting out there. And by doing stuff at this level, at this value, for $10 or for free or whatever, you create reciprocity. Okay, when you give, you will receive. I truly believe that, whether it be on a spiritual level, whether it be, and that's why I do all these videos. I know that if I give you guys the answers, if I give you guys this sort of stuff for free, that it will come back to me in some way or form, because I'm a true believer in reciprocity. If you give, you shall receive. And I think that sort of stuff helps you build rapport with your community, build rapport with the people that you're supporting, and it helps you build trust. And that's our main thing when we're building this disability sector. I've said it before, but Warren Buffett, he said it takes 20 years to build trust, and it only takes 5 minutes to lose it. So it's super duper important that right now, maybe you're starting out and you're watching this video and you don't have any clients, or maybe you have a couple clients. Right now, you don't have much trust in the industry. The industry doesn't have much faith in you. You haven't gotten out there and built those relationships where the industry has trust. So we need to show them. We need to show them that you understand the disability sector, that you have a solid comprehension, that we are focused on the problems that the people we support, and we're able to provide that solution, because people pay for solutions. People pay for results. Okay, in any demographic, they pay for solutions and they pay for results. So developing a target relationships, driven campaigns, and community engagement. So we're just looking at the relationships that we're building. So when we do these kind of events, and when we talk about problem versus solutions, just going to some kind of example, let's say we do a trivia night. I've done a trivia night with somebody, or let's say we'll go with Dungeons and Dragons. So Dungeons and Dragons, people with autism love that sort of stuff. Dungeons and Dragons, Warhammer, all these sorts of gaming nights that they get together. So if you provide that sort of solution, so that problem is that they really want to meet people, they want to get out, but they still want to do stuff that they love to do. You provide that solution for them, give them a great time, release some serotonin, some happy hormones inside of their brain. You're then able to provide a stage for yourself. So we really want to be able to provide a stage for you to show off your skills, because I know that if you're sitting here watching this video and you've got this far, I know that you care about this industry. You want to do your best, and you're probably not just in it for the money. You're probably actually in it because you've seen some injustice, or you feel compassionate. You really want that change in your life, to be able to support people, but also do it for a job. So I understand that we're trying to build that target relationship. So we want to have that stage to present ourselves, and actually to be able to show people that we really do care, and that we really are worthy of their trust, so that we can support them, because they have choice and control. They don't have to choose you. They can choose anybody through choice and control. So why would they want to choose you? Why do they trust you? Okay, so you've got this stage. We've got our Dungeons and Dragons. We're playing Dungeons and Dragons. We now have an ability to find out more about that person. We can find out that they also love football. They also love race cars. We build a relationship. We build that rapport between each other. And this is all pretending that we're doing it for a free event or a cheap event or whatever. So we're building some reciprocity. And look, if you think you can make this happen as a paid support event and that sort of stuff, I'm not telling you not to do that. But in the beginning, it's really, really tough if you don't have any supports. And And even if, I just think I've spent hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars on Google ads and Facebook ads myself and for clients, as a digital marketer myself. And it really, it's not as effective as this in-person stuff because you're building a rapport, you're building a reciprocity. It's what's called being a warm lead. Okay, so you're warming up your prospects, you're warming up your leads, and it's so much easier to do in person when they can see that there's a real person behind the lens. And when you're doing Facebook ads, Google ads, all these sorts of things, they're cold leads. They're coming in, they don't know you, they don't trust you. Why would they choose you? And most of the time, especially in this disability sector, people have been scammed and BS'd over and over again, and they have a big wall that they've put up that they really don't have that trust factor. So when you've got them all in one room, now you have the ability to build a relationship with your target audience, with the people that you really want to support. And that's where I talk about you can't provide all things to all people because they all have different problems. So now you've got your target audience in one room, and you can find out a little bit more about the problems they're facing. Maybe there's some problems that you didn't know that they were facing on a daily basis. And so once you can do that, once you build up that relationship, at some point you are going to have to pitch. Okay. I don't want you to pitch like a salesman. I want you to pitch like somebody who actually cares about what they think. So when maybe after the event or during the event, if you feel there is a moment, but often it's going to be after the event, you can ask for some feedback. How did I go? How did you feel we went? Is it something you'd want to do again? Will I see you there next month? How did, do you feel like maybe we got to that point? Because I really wanted to provide this solution, whatever that solution is, around those things that you're facing. And then at some point you can say, look, I think that maybe we could do this. I've got this other idea that we could do. It's actually going to be a paid support thing that maybe we can do some one-on-one community access for 5 hours on this day. And I think we're going to kind of focus on this problem and get you to this solution. Okay. So when people know that you actually care about what problems they're facing, they get the solution, they get to their goal, it's going to go a really long way in your marketing. And it is a gentle and soft approach because this industry requires a gentle and softer approach. You cannot be a hard seller because people can smell that BS a mile away, especially even when we talk about providers. Providers can smell the BS a mile away. I think because we've all probably been support workers at one time and we kind of have that ability to pick up on empathetic cues, and cues of there's something just off about this guy, and there's something that is just not right, that you have the ability to pick up on these things from a kind of a sixth sense situation. So really important to stay genuine, have a gentle touch, a soft approach, but you will have to pitch at some point. Otherwise, you're not really going to be able to bring on any other clients at that point. But it is okay to pitch. All right, so I hope that has provided some value to you guys. If you want to help, if you support the channel, I would love for you to subscribe to YouTube or Facebook or wherever you're seeing this podcast. We're in a whole heap of different places. So the Provider NDIS Coaching Podcast, look that up on Spotify, Apple, or whatever. I would love to see or hear you there. You can listen to me. You don't have to watch me. You can listen to that on your car drive or whatever it is. We got a heap of value in a whole heap of different stuff. The Provider Coaching Group, if you want a group coaching session, we have some super duper affordable, cheap. You wouldn't even believe how affordable and cheap it is to be able to have me personally answer your questions and help guide you as a mentor, as a coach along the way. I also do one-on-one mentorship coaching sessions. I only allow 5 people into that group. At the moment, it is full, but if you're interested in that and getting on the wait list, please let me know. Also, free Accelerator Masterclass. Anyone who has been watching all of my videos, if you want a copy of my free Accelerator Masterclass, which is going to help you get to that next level and understand a little bit more in depth on how to grow your business, reach out to me down below in the links and I'll send you a copy of it. It's an hour masterclass. I think you'll get some value out of it as well. And then like, comment, subscribe. As always, I appreciate you guys watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.